So, that's how drugs feel. And if you already take drugs, then please do not take any before you go see Marvel's newest film, Doctor Strange. Of course, another year comes 2 movies because they're trying to keep the pacing with the cinematic universe, and we get the introduction to the Sorcerer Supreme. I've always known about Doctor Strange, but the whole mysticism and the whole thing dealing with magic and how he's like a sorcerer never truly appealed to me. And it was after Guardians of the Galaxy that I said, you know what, at this point they could make a movie about a pile of poop and it will probably still be awesome. So then they started to drop trailer after trailer showing just an inkling of the trippy things you're going to be seeing in the movie, and then the producers and the writers and the directors coming forward saying, you ain't seen nothing yet. Well, I've seen it, and I'm going to be doing this for quite a while after seeing this movie because it was actually pretty fucking awesome. First off, let's get the big thing that is attracting an awful lot of masses to this movie are the visuals. They were hyping up, saying that this movie is going to be something that you've never seen before. It actually really is, because what you see in the trailer is just the surface, because there's just so many trippy moments in this movie that if you're going to be spending an extra amount of money for either 3D or Cinemark XD or IMAX 3D, this is the movie to do it in. And I'm sorry, no disrespect to Fantastic Beasts or even Rogue One coming out next month, Doctor Strange is the movie to see in IMAX 3D, especially because some of the scenes in the movie were in fact filmed with IMAX cameras. And oh my god, just seeing some of the trippy stuff. If you're prone to big flashy things and you have a history of epileptic seizures, don't go see Doctor Strange. At least see it in a smaller scale theater, normal sized theater, rather than IMAX 3D. But if you don't have anything to hold you back or you're willing to take the risk, then please check it out, because they really did mean it when you're going to see some trippy stuff that you hadn't seen before, and I was just agazed the entire time. And what made it even more awesome is that they got clever with it, because some of these trippy visuals, they aren't just trippy for the sake of being trippy. Once he learns how to use his powers, they use that trippy stuff to their advantage to kind of weave it into some of the action scenes, particularly one involving New York City that I'm like, oh my god, I almost want to watch this movie again just for those scenes because they were just that great. And what made these action sequences and very tense, trippy moments even better is that they are inhabited by characters that we truly care about and are really well performed by their actors. Benedict Cumberbatch, Joel Ejiofor, Tilda Swinton, Rachel McAdams. Just the cast is top notch. Marvel doesn't play when it comes to their cast, and everybody brings their A game. And they recognize that at this point, these Marvel superhero movies, they're nothing to toy about. They are a part of a culture, and therefore everybody who's involved with the project, both director, both behind the camera and in front of the camera, they're gonna bring their best efforts to the screen, and it shows, because everybody, including and especially Benedict Cumberbatch, I feel like we might have another Robert Downey Jr. is Tony Stark case where Benedict Cumberbatch very well in fact be Doctor Strange. And the way that most of these characters are written are done very well too. They know that who's going to be the proper comic relief, just like they know who's going to be the anchor for a central character who has a very complex arc going through the movie where he learns a sense of righteousness, and there's a little bit of a tragedy with him because this guy starts off with in the beginning of the movie as a little bit of a dick. He's an egotistical surgeon who knows that he's that great and takes pride in knowing that he's that great. So it's only fair that he goes through a sense of karma, but it's because of Benedict's performance as well as the way they wrote this character that makes this type of story ripe for a character like Doctor Strange and makes us care about him. However, this is where I start to delve into the things that I wasn't so much of a fan with this movie, and that is that the story at this point is kind of a template for almost all Marvel movies because it follows it almost beat by beat to a certain point. It's a basic template that has worked for so many movies, but it's one that Marvel has been kind of recycling in some of their latest outings, particularly their origin stories. And we kind of see that play out again in Doctor Strange, and because of the way the characters are written and because of how they were acted by their fellow actors, we buy into them, and they were done very well. But I was hoping that Doctor Strange was going to be the movie where they were going to get risky with the story and kind of do things that we hadn't seen before, just like the visuals were. It was like a marathon race, and the visuals were at the lead, but the story wasn't struggling, but it was just following behind and just wasn't as fast as the visuals. And the second and thankfully last problem I have with the movie is one that, again, Marvel has been having for the longest time, especially, and I think more notably, in Phase 2. the villain. Marvel, guys, come on. Bring whoever writes your villains for the TV shows, either Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which is on a network show, or the people over from Netflix who brings us Daredevil, the Kingpin, the Purple Man, or Killgrave and Jessica Jones. Whoever wrote those evil motherfuckers, bring them over to the cinematic universe workshop to kind of bring us a very memorable villain, because Mads Mikkelsen plays Cassius, I think that was his name, our main villain for the movie, and I will say, he was definitely better than some of the other very mundane villains like Malekith from Thor the Dark World or Ronan the Accuser from Guardians of the Galaxy, who were just basic bad guys that just rolled on set and said, I want to take over everything, oh, I'm a bad guy. Oh. Because this guy was played by Mads Mikkelsen, he had a different demeanor to him that made him stand out as a very different character, or at least a very different villain than those other two. But still, he didn't escape all the trappings we've seen before for this type of villain, where after this movie, we're probably going to forget about it in a couple of days. There are plenty of other movies where you can say that the spectacle of the movie was great, but the substance was lacking. Here, that might be the case, but they found a balance within the spectacle to still bring some sort of substance forward with the characters that were involved in such spectacle. And that's where the movie really wins us over, along with the very trippy visuals that I don't think I've ever seen in a good while, and I will be pissed if this does not at least get a nomination for Best Visual Effects by the Oscars this coming year. And needless to say, it's going to be a while before I can get such visuals out of my head. And for that lasting effect, I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice. And actually give Doctor Strange a very low caution 9 out of 10. This is in fact one of my favorite movies of the year, but I definitely think that Marvel should reevaluate their template with not only their main focal story, but also their villains. Because as much as I love Loki, bring us something else other than Loki, because we are definitely going to be seeing him again in Ragnarok, but I don't want them to keep overusing Loki to the point where I'm like, please give us something new, only to end up with more Ronan the Accusers, or more Malekiths, or now more Cassius. And there's plenty of other things to nibble at with the movie, plenty of Easter eggs, and of course there are end credit scenes both in the middle of the credits as well as the very end, but of course that's where my spoiler discussion will come in the coming days, so please stay tuned for that. But for the meantime, please let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of Doctor Strange if you haven't watched it, and if you haven't, will you be checking it out this weekend? And do you think that this movie contributed very well to the grand picture that's leading up to Infinity War? And of course, don't forget to like this video, share it with all your friends, and subscribe for future endeavors posted on this channel. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm going to be doing this a while. I'm just going to annoy my girlfriend with so many of these hand gestures. She's going to get sick of it. I just cannot wait.